Hi, good evening to all of our friends for Positive. I wanted to make this video really to introduce myself once again, and also because of this feeling that I have that I feel like I haven't been connected um, to you guys, and I feel that there is still a lot that um, that you don't know about me. And so this is the video that I'm making so you can learn a little bit more about who I am and what I'm doing and whatnot. Um, so, like I said, my name is Tanya Navarro. I was born in San Diego and raised in the border town here in Tijuana. Um, so that's a huge influence for me and a motivator of why I'm trying to pursue Potsative as a project as being binational, and that's very important to me. Um, Growing up, I was surrounded by two loving parents and my sister, which I am so grateful that I have them in my life, and they have been such a great support to me. Um, I went to school in San Diego. I attended Mar Vista High School and later decided to go to Southwestern College. So, who didn't go to Southwestern College? Whoever is from San Diego. Um, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't that type of school wasn't for me. I do have a learning disability, which is, in my opinion, been conquered. I want to say at 99% of the time. However, that 1% sometimes does come out and makes them, itself present. I have dyslexia, and sometimes I confuse some of the words or some of the letters. It's not that bad. However, growing up, it was an issue because I will be writing a paper or whatnot, and I used to be so ashamed of it until I learned to accept it, and it's a part of who I am. And in a way, I think it made me, fall into this helping profession. I did my bachelor, my undergrad, my bachelor's, concentrating in the health and human services over at the University of Phoenix. And from that experience, I really got involved in the field of mental health. Um, I also studied in the University of Tijuana and with a background in psychology. So having that motivation in the helping profession was something that really inspired me to move even further in my career. Um, I started working in the mental health field. Um, I did a lot of peer supports and some counseling, some one-on-ones with several different vulnerable populations. I was involved with um, domestic violence, working with the families and also with the perpetrator. Um, I also did case management for the LGBTQ plus community, HIV/AIDS patients as well, and also working with youth over at the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, and really focused on people. That's always been a motivator for me. Being in contact with people, being able to provide services, getting them the resources that they need. So this is a huge motivator for me. Um, after working several years in with the populations that I mentioned, and also um, having witnessed, some of having witnessed the scarcity of resources, and not a lot of people are open, to help vulnerable populations. It takes a lot, especially coming from some of the government funding. Um, it takes a lot for a program to be funded. It takes a lot um, for your questions to be answered, especially if you're navigating with really low resources and you're trying to help a lot of people with just a small amount. And to me, it was very frustrating to question myself and even question, superiors that I collaborated with, and be like, well, why don't we have like this type of resource, or what do we need to get there? How can we get more to help? Um, and I think that in a way, the system has been designed to um, not be self-sufficient, but to put a band-aid over whatever it is that we're dealing with. Um, I'm sure people want a resource or a tool to, self-improve and not always be relying on the system. Um, like anything, there are exceptions to what I just said. Um, everyone is different. Everyone has different needs, and some individuals do believe this is the better way for them to be, under the umbrella of government assistance, and that's all right. But then there's the other side also that want to pursue something different, but because of being in the system and a victim of generational poverty, so the cycle just keeps going and going. Um, as I'm involved in all of that and witnessing um, witnessing how the resources are being divided within within several different communities. Several different populations. It's like, oh my God, I wish I could do something different, but I wasn't able to go even further because I lacked the education. So I decided to pursue a master's degree, and my area of concentration was a master's degree in social work. And my concentration was organizing, administration, community, policy, business, and innovation. So all of those components were integrated into my social work degree. Why I didn't choose the clinical role of it basically was because I felt that I needed to advocate for change. And as a clinical, you can do it. However, there are some courses in the concentration that I chose that helped you with program planning, with providing deliverables and business structure. So advocacy and policy. So those areas were not included in the program. So I decided to go to this other route. I still enjoy the clinical side of being able to talk to people and provide that counseling one-on-one or peer group, whichever I'm in the situation. But I really was motivated to change, to be a leader. And So that's basically why I went into school once again, and I received my diploma this last December 2017, and I'm going to be having my my ceremony the 11th of this month, and it's a great accomplishment. It's a great personal accomplishment, but I also feel very empowered to move into what I'm doing right now. So Potsative really came to life because I saw the need for services, especially in the caregiving sector. Um, Many people that look after their loved one. You could be a family member, a relative, a friend, or a professional caregiver. At times it could be really stressful to attend the needs of someone else and put their needs before yours. It can be taxing. Um, it can create a lot of burnout, a lot of compassion fatigue, a lot of stress, and at the same time, one can feel resentment because you are stuck in that situation and there's really not a lot you can do because you are helping that other person. And don't take the word stuck in a negative way, but some people, the people that I've talked to, it's a word that it's used often, that they feel that they're stuck in that situation. So that's how I am starting to move in that area, providing some sort of relief to this population of caregivers. I think the word caregiver really encompasses the whole family, friend, relative. As long as you are taking care of someone, you are a caregiver. And so basically that's the focus, providing some sort of outlet to practice a little bit of self-care, which is basically the purpose. Now, when it comes to Potsative, and if you read the story, it came to life when I encountered, not only that one person, but several other people who are caregivers, venting on social media and asking for help, asking to talk to someone. And because I am a supporter of medical cannabis, and I see the benefits that has on patients that use it. I do have some forums that I'm a member of, and I started to notice, these participants, talking about what's going on in their life, how they're feeling because of their situation with their loved one, and it's just something that it spirals out of control. I do engage them if I see them, because I don't want to neglect or not respond to a plea of help. So basically, Potsative is designed to provide emotional support and therapy services to friends, family members, relatives, whichever, and caregivers of patients using medicinal cannabis. It is a gateway. It is a gateway to access for help and to be heard and to validate those feelings. I think it's very important to validate one's feelings, because after all, feelings is what tells us what's really going on in our life. It could be positive feelings that signals us that we're well, and we can have negative feelings that signals us that something is going on and needs our attention. So basically, that's what Potsative is. It's a platform. Hopefully soon, we will be able to have our app with a fully integrated community of professionals ready to talk to people who are experiencing difficulties, not only as a caregiver. That is our main focus, but not only as a caregiver, but if you're experiencing difficulties and you like our platform, you like what we're offering, we welcome anyone that is in need of our services. We do have very affordable services, and we really hope that whoever needs it, has the opportunity to access this help. Now, Potsative, it is completely 100% online, and since we are a startup, we're learning and we're going. We're very young. We're very motivated to provide the services, but we are forming, and at this point, Federico is our clinical director, are the ones who are driving this boat, and I tell Federico all the time, it's like we're building the plane and at the same time we're flying the plane. So it has been a great adventure so far. I am very moved and grateful for the community that has been surrounding us, and I can't express any more than I have already done. Another thing is that we are starting to create such a good impression and a good a good impression that other psychologists in the area has started to demonstrate interest in our project, and we're just very thankful for their support and for sharing our content in their web pages. And I think only to further talk about what the purpose is. And I think the bottom line for this is that we're not striving only to be another mental health app, because there's a lot of them to choose from, and even perhaps more affordable. But that's not the main reason. Potsative is really dedicated to the community, to be part of the community. We have been involved in other fundraisers with other foundations. We don't charge for any of this, and we are in need of funding, but we do it because we see that we can create, social impact, that we can motivate our community to help one another, and in order to be involved and influence others, that community, it's a living organism, and you have to model those behaviors. You have to model helping others in your community. I know that there's a lot of hesitation for safety and whatnot when it comes to interacting with certain populations, but I am proposing community first and helping first, and eventually we will be starting to see some sort of revenue from that and keep our organization going. So far, we haven't received any, not even a single penny for providing the services that we do. And we hope that the people that access the services do find value in it, um, because we're two driven, educated young people, and we do have the hope of one day, positioning Potsative as the as a choice for services, and also as the choice for community involvement and for improvement of communities and ideas and initiatives. And I know it might sound very ambitious, um, but I do believe that um, in the goodness of people, and I do believe that if a community sticks together and evolves together, eventually a lot can be done. I went on a 20 something minute video, but I really wanted to thank you for allowing me and for sharing with me this time. If you want to reach me directly, you can reach me at www.potsative.com. Also, you can reach me at my email at tavarro@gmail.com. But it's still going to be more easier if you reach me over at the website. We also have a Facebook at Potsative, and also Instagram with the same name. Really wanted to thank you. Have a wonderful, positive day.